Just wanted to talk about the addiction side in general. It doesn't have to be smoking, it doesn't have to be drinking, it doesn't have to be drugs. It's everything. It could be food, it could be anything. I haven't felt that addictive mindset in a while, and it comes back right away when I start smoking. And it feels the same as when I was drinking, and it feels the same as when I was smoking regularly. And coming out of it for a good period of time, and then going back in, even just slightly in, it comes back very hard. It hits very hard. My mindset goes right back to that. And it's really, really scary, as it should be. Addiction is quite scary. The big thing for me is that I'm not in complete control of my mind. When I'm not smoking, when I'm not taking in nicotine, I have control of my mind. When something else has a hold of my mind, it brings back that alter ego, that voice in your head that you're battling against yourself. And I haven't heard that voice in a very long time. So when this happens, when these setbacks happen, they feel massive to me because that voice comes in full swing, like it had never left. And I start to lose those mental battles to myself. You start to have those conversations, those kind of persuasions with yourself. Oh no, it'll be fine if you just do this. It'll be okay if you just have a couple or do this. The more you start to lose those battles, the more you kind of fall back into those patterns, and that voice gets stronger and stronger. It's really delicate. You have to be very careful. Slip-ups happen. It's just a part of all of this. But it's what we do when we do slip up. And I noticed all of those things that I really enjoy doing, creating and taking photos and making videos and all this stuff, just the second I started smoking, just fell to the side, and I had no drive or passion to do them again. So I think these little setbacks are important. It reminds us where we were and where we are now. But the most important thing is to recognize where we are now, what got us here, and to hold on to that with everything. And the last 5 days have been such a reminder of what I'm doing now, taking pictures, making videos. It's not just a job, it's a passion, and it's also a tool that keeps me sane. It got me out of some of the darkest places I've ever been in. It got me to some of the best places I've ever been. And if I take that little setback, that step backwards, those tools fall away, and I have to remember to hold on to them because they're the reason that I'm out. Bears, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, you want to come in?
Yeah.
Let's talk. The other day, yesterday, I just reached out to Barris because I was like, I'm not in a good spot. I know you can kind of relate to this stuff, especially on the photo video level, what it's done for you.
I've been through the bad, I've been through the really good, so I know what the experience feels like. So I just kind of told you that, things are gonna be okay, to enjoy the ride.
So I was terrified of all that stuff. I was terrified of everything, all the good that has come, and I think that was that kind of self-sabotage that kind of happened.
Yes, yeah. And it only happens when you're succeeding in what we do. In the beginning, you don't really notice these things. You're in the learning process of getting better. But meanwhile, while learning, it's gonna take you out of a dark situation, a dark place. So once you reach to a good state mentally, and you're so good in your craft, you hit a plateau, and you're like, what do I do from here, right? So you had that, and yeah, it's a part of it.
Yeah, I know that's been a big part of your story as well.
Yeah, my addiction was just that I was in a dark place. Like, if you can say that's an addiction. I was just in a really dark place. I never stated this, but 4 years ago, I had a massive breakup with my ex-girlfriend, and it took me to really bad places. And photography got me out of that. And within, photography, I never really thought of anything else. All I wanted to do was just taking photos, making videos, establishing my YouTube career, that sort of thing. And my only addiction throughout the journey would be coffee. That's the only thing that kept me going when I didn't want to edit. Like, I did crazy stuff. So I used to run my channel in Turkish before. right? I just wanted to get used to being in front of the camera, talking in front of the camera. Like I was super shy. Still am to a certain point, but you know, when I'm with you and stuff, it's no problem. So one day I made this video and I did it in Turkish because I know no one would see it. I recorded it in Toronto, came back home, started editing it right away. This is like 12 o'clock. And there was one shot that just didn't work. And that shot was sort of important for me.
Okay.
And it was shot like during nighttime. So what I did was I hopped right back to my car at like 12 o'clock, drove back to Toronto, re-recorded that shot, came back, edited, published the video for the morning. The reason why I was able to do that was coffee. Okay, so it's a nice segue to say that coffee has been a really big part of my life. But I realized something a couple months ago. Coffee was taking over my body. Like I couldn't sleep at night. I was anxious all the time, and I would overthink about everything. Like I needed to chill. Like you know, you need to chill. You need to sometimes not do anything. I wasn't able to do that. You know, on top of that, in our society now, we can't really chill. No one watches a Netflix show without being on their phone. We're able, you know, we have to multitask. On top of that, coffee was like the peak point. I agreed with myself to stop drinking coffee. I love the ritual of drinking coffee. I love making coffee. I have a really nice espresso machine. I love practicing latte art and stuff. I love going to coffee shops. I think coffee like unlocks a lot of people and you're able to get into really good deep conversations. I love that about coffee, but I realized I like coffee, the ritual, not the caffeine, right? So then I always had this stigma, like, who would drink decaf? Like, really? Like, I thought people who drink decaf were like losers or something.
Yeah.
So I tried decaf coffee. I was like, this is no different at all. And I feel much better. I didn't feel my heart like beating throughout the day. So that was a good thing. So I switched to decaf, started drinking decaf coffee. So in terms of like addiction, I can definitely relate with you on that. Caffeine is a drug, and people like kids in high school, like we said, they consume it nowadays. So they are able to start it from a young age and become really addicted to it. As soon as I stopped drinking, it's been 1 month. I'm gonna make a video about this too on my channel, but I feel so much better. I can sleep better. My mind is here, you know? Like before, I would like tap my knee while doing this conversation and probably walk, run, do stuff. Yeah. So now I feel much better. So in terms of addiction, like photography didn't really have anything to do with it, but I lifted this addiction to be able to do a lot more with myself. Now I can focus, now I can write better stories, you know, rather than just like thinking, what's next, which is still inside me. I think there's still like some caffeine left inside me.
Yeah, man, years and years of build up.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Like 15 years of drinking coffee, like it has to stay somewhere. Whatever it is that you do to find a way out of it, this could be photography, anything. Photography and anything creative, I think is the best way to get that out of your system. Would be amazing for you if you can practice stuff like that.
Dude, if I have caffeine, I'm wired. I can't think straight. I can't get anything done. My brain goes so fast.
Yeah.
Like, and it's great because it's never been an issue for me because I've never gotten past that point to get addicted to caffeine because I hate it so much.
Cigarettes are the same thing. And alcohol is the same thing. Once you realize
Food.
what it does to food is exactly
whatever it is for you.
Everything. Like gaming, watching TV.
And it's just funny what certain substances are normalized and are okay in society. Awesome, man. Thanks for the conversation.
Absolutely.
If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. Be something positive you did today. We would greatly appreciate it. Subscribe to the thing with the bell so you know the second we put out new videos. Go check out Barros if you haven't already. What are you doing?
And go easy on caffeine.